Hello, this is Edwin Dearborn, author of Power Branding Secrets, and today on the edition of Caffeinated Content, where we talk about great business ideas or a hot cup of coffee, we're going to talk about the branding triangle. Now I'm here at Sunrise Coffee in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're just about a mile away from McCarran Airport. It's one of my favorite places to come to. And recently, I've been talking to people about their branding. In fact, I run a mastermind group here in Las Vegas. We're going to be meeting Wednesday night. There's going to be about 70 people in attendance. And these are mainly solopreneurs and small business owners, which is different in terms of branding than you may think, like Coca-Cola or Ford or Google or something like that. Because branding has to be understood within the niche that you're in and the size that you're in. Understanding the branding for, Maserati is not necessarily going to help you as a dentist or as a chiropractor or as a realtor. And so how does branding really work for the solopreneur? Now, in my book, Power Branding Secrets, I talk about the branding triangle. And in brief, I want to tell you there are three sides to the branding triangle. The first one is referred to as brand identity. And this, unfortunately, people think is the totality of branding. I go much deeper into this in my book, but let me just give you an example. A brand identity is something that I can see or touch. Okay, I can see your logo. I can touch your furniture and what color it is, like a Starbucks. Right, Starbucks has a certain look. I can hear your jingle. I can read your tagline. It's something that brand identity is the part of your brand that I can experience with my physical universe senses. So it's your logo, your color, your jingle. It can even be certain sounds for like Harley Davidson. It could be the taste of your coffee, like for Starbucks. All of this is part of the brand identity. And this is very important that you have a great brand identity. But as many branding experts, Gary Vaynerchuk has said, it really doesn't matter the name of your company. It really doesn't matter what your URL is. It doesn't really matter what your colors are. This doesn't really matter. It's important, but in the scheme of things in the digital world, there are two other aspects of branding in this triangle. And the second part of the triangle is your branded communication. That means, are you putting out podcasts? Caffeinated content is part of my branded communication that I put out from Edwin Dearborn and Premier Lead Systems. Do you have a YouTube show? Like Gary Vee has the Ask Gary Vee show. That's part of his branding. Yes, it has his name in it, but without the show, his brand would be very limited in its reach. So it's one thing to be something, but you got to communicate and really offer a lot of value. So how you advertise would fit into this. How you communicate, your emails, what you post on social media. All of this branded communication, advertising, lead gen, freemiums, free offers, all of that would form the second part of your communication, which is how do you manage your content? How do you distribute your content? How do you get your message, your information out to the world? And then number three is consumer management. How do you manage your customers? So your processes of how you serve people, how they're welcomed, how you deal with complaints, how you actually serve people. And the best example of a brand that has done this well is, Starbucks has done it well. Well, not recently with this whole flap back in Philadelphia. You also have various department stores that have built their brand on how they serve people. They don't have much of a logo. They don't have much of a website to speak of, but how they treat people is very, very, very important. So, and then this affects your branding in the way that if you treat people really well and your processes and your services are really smooth, you get lots of good Yelp reviews, Google reviews, case studies, and that builds your brand just as much as anything else. Ask any restaurant. about how important consumer reviews are for their branding. It can make or break a business. There are many small businesses that just by how they treat people and the communication they put out builds their brand much more than their logo. Now, this is where you need to really understand the branding triangle. Is if you're a solopreneur and you are under a brand and you're trying to build a brand within a brand. Give you an example. You're a realtor and you're working for Keller Williams. Well, the senior brand is Keller Williams, and they pitch you like, well, if you join the Keller Williams team, you'll have all this branding power. But you can ask any Keller Williams realtor, the way they built their own personal brand wasn't just hanging the shingle up and hoping that that logo and that branding then attracted them customers. They knew that they had to build a database. The second part of the triangle, they had to communicate and they had to engage with people. The third part of the branding triangle, for them to really leverage the power of the first part of the branding triangle. So if you just think that you're going to, as a realtor or as a lawyer or as a dentist, you're going to be wrapped under some brand identity, and this beingness, this like I am this and I am this, is going to attract you people, it doesn't. So recently I put out a post saying, you know, and I've done a lot of podcasts, I've done a lot of lectures all around the United States. I've been interviewed on Huffington Post. I've been interviewed on Entrepreneur, Social Media Today, Orange County Register, and I keep communicating to small business people. It's not just a matter of I am this and I'm awesome and that's my brand identity and that's the totality of my branding. That's not what branding is today. What branding is today is you have to stand for something. You have to have your position clear. And you have to have your brand identity, absolutely. But if you're not putting out communication that's branded, if you're not known for informing people and engaging people through social media platforms, enlightening them, educating them, engaging them, as well as serving them, and serving them well with processes, procedures that are themselves part of your brand, then you're really missing out on what branding is. If I take 10,000 Keller Williams agents and I say the branding is the equalizer, then they should all equally be successful. But I guarantee you, and that's just one brand, within Keller Williams, 80% of the deals are being done by 20% of the agents. Probably 90% of the deals are being done by 10% of the agents. So why aren't the same 90% of the agents having the same success as the other 10? See, it's not just the brand identity that is the success. So I go into this deeper in my book, Power Branding Secrets, the branding triangle. Number one, it's your brand identity. Number two, it's your branding communication and how you manage your content. And then number three, how do you engage with people? How do you serve people? How do you manage those relationships? Hopefully you've found a lot of value in this edition of Caffeinated Content. You make it a great day. Bye-bye.